And there we go. 4 o'clock Sunday stories. My take on the week, the events, and the people who've shaped it. It's been all about post Halloween. We had a great week at Tudor World. Virtually every show was sold out. 17, 18 people. And all, as far as I could tell, enjoyed this idea of going around a haunted house because things have happened there on a special week leading up to Halloween. I've had certain responses from Christians who have warned me about certain parts of Halloween, seances, so forth, which I've not done, I've not been to, but I do know people who regularly attend them. That's their kick. But it's all about the people who do come for that little bit of entertainment and perhaps education about what happened in a house that was built in 1480. And they come in groups, and each group is different. They often come from different countries. And it's interesting to be able to communicate the story of the house to people who don't necessarily come from England, from Great Britain, who don't always speak English well, or even have hearing difficulties so that you have to slow down so that someone can sign. And it's all happened. But this week, as I say, post Halloween, certain things have happened. I told you about the young girl who saw a white figure on the stairs. Well, this week, I was taking people through what we call the schoolroom, and it involves a little girl again called Lucy, 8 to 11 years old. She was blonde, with a skill and craft in picking pockets. Scrooge, or is it not Scrooge? The Charles Dickens tales of pickpockets. Can't even remember it now. And she was in the room where we talk about Lucy being able to sometimes twist rings on ladies' fingers. I was telling the tale, and one lady talked of her coat being pulled. And then we went through into what we call the ship room, and then downstairs into the room where the previous little girl saw Lucy. And as I was telling them again the story of Lucy being caught in the fire during the house 1595, one girl suddenly cried out, "My ring's come off my finger." And we put the lights on and we looked for the ring. Now, did the ring come off a finger in that room, or did it come off the finger upstairs? And since she'd had the ring on for some years, why should it suddenly come off? Now, as it was, the ring, it seemed, had little or no sentimental value, and the family with her did say they would buy her another one. So perhaps Lucy knew that this event would not have dire consequences. Perhaps she was being playful Lucy, as people knew her as. But isn't it strange? Isn't it fascinating that these things can happen? Particularly, perhaps, to a people who are sensitive There was a young lady who came in last night. Now, why she was there, I don't know. But I could tell from almost the very first moment that she was uncomfortable. She was with her partner, and he often had his arms around her. But at the end of it, she thanked me. And that's strange, isn't it? That people could go through that situation and then at the end of it, thank you for heightening their perhaps anxiety. Strange. And in fact, it was the family of the young girl who lost the ring actually gave me the biggest tip I've had. They thanked me and gave me £10, which was received with gratitude. As for the rest of the week, we thought that with last week being post-Halloween, it would drop off. But my Wednesday tour had 11, 12 people on it. My Friday tour started with 4 and ended with 9 or 10. Yesterday, my 6 o'clock started with 11 people and went up to 18. My 8 o'clock started with 7 people and went up to 12. So people still are coming in to Tudor World post-Halloween, and we're thankful for that. The people who run the house need that income coming in to keep the house going. It's not a cheap affair. It's an old house, a very old house, and things often need to be repaired. So I put out that call to all of you who can get over to Tudor World, Stratford-on-Avon, at £8.50 for an hour. It is not expensive, and it is entertaining. It is educational. If you've got children, come in the daytime when we are a museum. £7.50 and free for under 5s. We need that income to keep this part of history going. We need you to come in and to support the people who own the building, who are working their backsides off to keep this going. So we'll put that out there for this week. Other events have been few and far between. Politically, in England, I have certainly lost track of all the backbiting that's been going on because, to be honest, the Tory party, of which I have been a supporter since I was 15, has sort of left me behind, or at least not the Tory party that I want it to be. And it all comes down to certain alignments with the World Economic Forum, which, if you do follow politics, seems to be infiltrating many of the governments of the world in a globalist type of agenda. So I have, as usual, connected more with American politics and have been fascinated with 2 events over there. First event is the amount that we found out the FBI have been involved with big tech, with Facebook, with YouTube, with, not so much with Twitter now. Now that Elon Musk has sort of gone in and done a Donald Trump and upset the apple cart. But the other event was the attack on the husband of the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. People jumped to conclusions very quickly and called the attacker a Republican. And then slowly, as normally happens, the Dan Bongino rule, 72 hours. excuse me, the police story started to change, particularly when the FBI started to get involved. Webcam footage, which is normally released almost straight away, has been held back. The prosecution stories have changed how many times, I don't know, ending with the fact that it looks like Paul Pelosi opened the door to the police and then walked back towards his attacker before he was attacked. You have to ask yourself, why would anyone do that? Right up to what, in my opinion, on Tuesday is probably the most important election in my lifetime, because what happens in America is certainly going to happen to us here in Britain and the free world. So a message to everyone out there who has disagreements with the Democrat Party: get out to vote. Don't listen to Fox telling you that the red wave is coming. I have lost all faith in Fox News, and primarily because all they do is sit on couches and whine and moan, and then the following day they do the same. My heart is with Tom Fitton, with Sarah Carter, with John, I can't remember his name, my head's going, with all the people, with Dan Bongino, with Mark Levin, with all the people who are looking into the roles of the Democrat Party, the Rhino Republicans, the FBI, the DOJ, the IRS, in jailing, in harassing their political opponents. And we've got someone coming through, which is Paul Doyle. Hello, Paul. Thanks for coming through. And just leave a comment, Paul, and I'll certainly love to get back to you after this finishes. Put something in the chat. If you agree with me, that's fine. If you don't agree, then tell me why. Let's have a debate about it. But it's certainly coming up to one of the most important elections. And I've heard that around about 1 or 2 weeks afterwards, Donald J. Trump may be announcing his run for the presidency in 2024. So that's going to be important. Final message: get out there, vote, whether you vote Democrat, whether you vote Republican. I'd say vote so your vote can be counted either on the day or the day after. Don't let votes be counted 10 days after the event. I can't understand how America can't get that sorted. If you can't get your vote in on time, then you shouldn't be allowed to vote. And as the Democrats say, that disenfranchises mainly Black Americans. Are the Democrats saying that Black Americans are too dumb not to know when their vote should be in? Racist. Definitely. The racist party, in my opinion. On a final note, if you look out at the moon, there's a very bright star right close to it. Some say Venus, some say Jupiter. I should really look it up, shouldn't I? But it's a wonderful sight. So, politics or not, 4 o'clock Sunday story or not, get out there, look at the moon, and look at that star. It's another planet. Have a great day. Have a great week. Talk again next Sunday. Take care.